Hey everyone, today we are diving into something really cool. It's a brand new way to automate work on your Mac, and it's all about teaching your AI assistants, well, just by doing your job.
All right, let me ask you something and be honest. Have you ever spent hours trying to write the perfect AI prompt, only to have it completely fall apart the minute something changes? A website updates its design, your process gets a tiny tweak, and boom, it's broken. It's a huge frustration, right?
Well, what if there was a better way? What if, instead of trying to tell your AI what to do, you could just show it? That simple idea is the key to a whole new world of automation. So, to really get why this new approach is such a game changer, we have to first understand the big problem it's trying to solve. Let's call it the agent automation bottleneck. Okay, so you've got two camps here. On one side, you have the old way, writing prompts by hand. And we know how that goes, right? It's slow, it's fragile, and it goes stale the minute anything changes. But the biggest problem? It never understands why you do what you do. Then you have this new way with Agent Handover. It's fast, it's robust, and the coolest part is it's self-improving because it's actually learning from you. It's designed to capture the secret sauce, your decision-making logic.
And this right here, this is the whole ballgame. A prompt can list out the what, like step 1, open ticket, step 2, read ticket, but it has no clue about the how or the why. It doesn't get that gut feeling you have when you read a customer's message, the instinct that tells you, okay, this person is really frustrating, I need to use this specific response. A prompt just gets the what and misses all the important stuff.
And that's what brings us to this new philosophy: show, don't tell your AI. The tool that makes this all possible? It's called Agent Handover. I love their tagline. It's just perfect. Work once, hand over forever. I mean, just think about that. The idea that you can do a task one time, and that effort gets captured and then reused forever by an AI agent. That's a seriously powerful concept. So what is this thing, really? Simply put, Agent Handover is an app for your Mac. It just sits quietly in your menu bar, and as you do your work, it watches you. It figures out the logic behind what you're doing, and then it bundles all that knowledge into something called a skill that your other AI agents can use. Okay, so how does it actually work? How does it go from watching you click around to creating this smart, reusable skill? Well, you might be surprised at how simple the process actually is. It's all based on this simple 6-step loop. First, you just hit record and do your task, just once. Let's say you're pulling a weekly report. Next, the app will pop up and ask you maybe 1 to 3 really smart questions to figure out why you did what you did. Like, hey, why did you choose that date range? Then you just glance over the skill it created and hit approve. Step 4, you connect it to your favorite agent, like Claude or OpenClaw, with just a single command. Step 5, you run it. Just use a simple slash command right in your agent's chat window. And here's the magic part, step 6. It improves. Every time it runs, the results feed back into the system, making that skill smarter and more reliable over time. And you've actually got 2 different ways you can teach it, which is pretty cool. There's focus recording, which is what you'd use when you think, okay, I want to automate this exact task right now. But then there's passive discovery, where it just runs in the background, it watches for patterns in your work, and if it sees you doing the same thing over and over, it'll actually suggest making it into a skill for you. How smart is that? All right, so we keep talking about this thing called a skill, but I really want to be clear here. This is not just a glorified macro. It's way, way more than a simple screen recording. So what is a skill? Think of it like a recipe, but for a task. It's a structured package of information. Sure, it has the steps, the action sequence, but it also includes your strategy, the rules about what not to do, which they call guardrails, and even your personal communication style if the task involves writing something. Let's just break that down one more time. The steps are the what you did. The strategy is the why you did it, your decision-making process. Guardrails are the boundaries, the don't do this rules that keep the AI on track. And voice? That's what makes sure that when an agent writes an email for you, it actually sounds like it came from you. All of these pieces together are what make these skills so incredibly powerful. Okay, so I mentioned these skills are self-improving. How does that happen? Well, it's all about a really clever feedback loop. And it all starts when one of your AI agents actually uses one of the skills you created. See, after the agent runs the task, it doesn't just stop there. It reports back to Agent Handover. It says, hey, that went perfectly. Or maybe, I had to do something a little different. The button was in a new spot. Or it might even say, nope, that completely failed.
And this is where the magic happens. That feedback is automatically used to make the skill better. If it was a success, the skill's confidence score goes up. If there was a small deviation, that might become a new option for the AI to consider next time. And if it fails too many times, the skill gets flagged for you to review. It's like a living, breathing document that's always learning.
And just so we're clear, this is not just a simple screen recorder. What's happening under the hood is actually an 11-stage intelligence pipeline. That's a fancy way of saying it's doing some really complex analysis on everything from the pixels on your screen to the meaning behind your actions. And it puts it all together into one of these skills, all right there on your own machine.
All right, the tech is obviously super cool, but let's get down to brass tacks. What can you actually do with this? Let's talk about building your own personal library of skills and putting them to work.
Honestly, the possibilities here are huge. Think about all those little things you do every day. Your research process, checking in on your online community, triaging support tickets. What about pulling numbers from a dashboard into a spreadsheet? Even really complex stuff, like running through a checklist for a software deployment, can be a skill. The developers have a great rule of thumb. If you've done a task 3 times and you know you're going to have to do it again, it's probably a perfect candidate for a skill.
And the great news is, this isn't some walled garden. It's built to play nice with the tools you're probably already using. It connects to big-name agents like Claude, OpenClaw, Hermes, and Codex, so you can use all these personal skills you've created right inside the AI workflows you already have.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, an app that watches your screen. I know what you're thinking. What about privacy? Well, this is something the creators took very, very seriously. Agent Handover is local first. That means everything, all your data, all your skills, lives and dies on your machine. Screenshots are only temporary and get deleted. It automatically finds and blacks out sensitive stuff like passwords and API keys. And get this, there is zero telemetry. Nothing phones home, ever. Your data is your data. Which really brings us full circle back to that core idea. You already know how to do your job. All that expertise, all that intuition is already there. This tool is just a bridge. It's a way to finally transfer that deep knowledge from your head directly into your AI agents. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about your own work week, your daily grind. If you could hand over just one of those repetitive tasks forever, what would it be? Really think about it. What's the one thing you'd love to never have to do again? Thanks for tuning in.